All right. Elder Scrolls. Last time we did a bit of an interlude. We found a Daedric shrine, Clavicus Vial. We decided to pursue his quest to get his boon. Though with Clavicus Vial, there always comes a questionable cost. But at the end, when all was said and done, after you defeated the vampire and went through his stuff, returned the bitter cup to his shrine, you went with the choice of enchanting one of your items with the black soul gem, the soul with that contained the soul of Dracus Usurpulus. Into the Akaviri sword that you have there. The sword, the magical enchantment that you now have, it does +3 damage and one life drain. Well, you every time you hit with it, you heal a physical stress.
Whoa! All right.
Apparently, he's very grateful to us for that thing that we just did.
I mean, it's a black soul gem, super powerful.
It is quite powerful enchantment.
Highly illegal.
Yeah, and I wanted to give you something that you might want to hang on to, even if you find a cool orcish blade or, something.
Or something less evil, perhaps, that we would use.
Something less evil.
Maybe.
It's just a sword. It couldn't possibly have a mind of its own.
Hey, wait a minute.
What? That's what I'm saying. It couldn't.
But why'd you say it like that?
What do you mean?
For reasons.
This is just how I talk.
All right.
Yes. Bodhi now has orange hair.
Oh, yeah.
The chat. Alex. Hi, Alex. I mean, Sheogorath.
Definitely Sheogorath.
Which native princes most care about hair color change? Let's find out.
So you guys have had some time to talk about or think about your treasure that you looted. The main thing I want to get out of the way, because probably selling it maybe makes sense to sell it at a larger market. I don't know if you want to just try to sell it. I guess it's not super consequential where we decide to do it. Where we're going to be traveling quite a bit this session, as this map shows on the stream. Yeah, you guys are still in Cyrodiil. You have quite a ways to go to actually get to the heart of the Elikir Desert. It's in western Hammerfell. Most of Hammerfell is much drier and whatnot. But, yeah. You guys wrap up there at the shrine. You've decided what to do with your equipment. Divvied it up amongst yourselves. Figured out what you're going to keep. Figured out what you're going to sell. Figured out what you're going to give back. What do you give back, if anything at all, to the villagers, the town?
The potions of restoration that were there, and I don't know of anything else.
So by potions of restoration, you mean the potion of resistance, the 4?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. All right. I say goodbye to the money we could have made from them.
We're good people, okay?
Goodbye, money. All right. And then for the rest, give me a... somebody needs to roll a speech check to figure out how much you're actually gonna get from it.
What are we selling?
Yeah. What are you selling?
And where?
And where?
I don't know that we're selling anything here.
Oh.
There's probably nobody in the village that could afford to buy the 4 things we want to sell.
Yeah, I might hold on to those until we get to a bigger town.
We
Makes
just give
sense.
it to him because there's quite a few people who are sick.
Yeah, and while I'm good at speech, I feel like I should probably get tagged negatively whenever I try and like sell people things.
I can do the speech.
I mean, if they're selling ideas, actually, I get bonuses to that, but selling things is a whole other matter.
Do you want this thing?
It's a thing.
You can use it to do things.
And you're fired.
All right, so they are very grateful. Steve, the guy who was primarily had the deal with Drekus, he's kind of, at first like, you guys killed Drekus? But upon learning about the vampire situation, he kind of briefly goes through different phases of, I trusted him. He could have killed me. The village is could potentially suffer now that we don't have a cheap supply of potions.
But it might thrive now that merchants aren't being attacked on the way
the vampire
here.
is gone.
Yeah.
You also have his journal, which you're gonna read. It details his plans on serving Clavicus Vile, trying to figure out different ways of overcoming the cost. And then he figured it out when he came across a copy of the Cyrodiilic Vampire Manifesto. I mean, he realized, if I become a vampire, I will get out of my end of the deal with, he won't be able to get my soul.
Right? Yeah. Because that turned out well.
Yeah, turns out not actually right. It talks about how he, after he became a vampire, he had the bitter cup as well. He realized, and he kind of had this growing ego, and he wanted to become Daedric Prince himself.
Good luck with that.
He was trying to suck or gain followers forcibly through this crazy ritual that he had invented, where he was strapping people up and leaving them no alternative but to worship him and his symbol, which was the bitter cup. He thought it was kind of a brilliant idea to make his Daedric symbol the thing that Clavicus Vile gave him. The bitter cup. But it wasn't working out.
Right.
He was getting more and more frustrated over time. Talked about how he'd gone through multiple. He'd lose his temper and kill his own assistant. Then he'd have to figure out how to get a new one without arousing suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys showed up. There's no entry for you guys in there, but there would be if he had survived.
It would just say, "Oh shit."
No shit, they're here.
Someone's
I'm gonna go
kicking
fight
down
him
my
now.
door. I'm going to go fight him.
Oh,
That was the end of his tale.
the little lockbox that you guys have.
Not that I'm too terribly surprised. It's like there's probably about easily 100 different stories of someone trying to pull a fast one on a Daedric Prince and only to have it come and bite him in the ass.
There is inside of that lockbox you find. It rattles a bit. One of you casts a spell to open it.
Mm-hmm.
And you find inside a small diamond and 93 septims.
Whoa.
Oh.
Useful.
Most of this stuff that you found is easily transportable. The only thing that maybe is hard are the actual alchemical tools. The alembic and the calcinator
Retort, mortar and pestle.
Bit harder to. The mortar and pestle is easy enough to pack away, but everything else is kind of either delicate or awkwardly shaped. Do you bring it along with you? I don't know.
Abso-fucking-lutely, I do.
Pack it in. You kind of got it like sticking out at awkward angles.
But spare clothes found in the house, just around the
Wrapped
glass
in.
stuff.
Yeah.
I have a very bulky pack, but it's full of stuff.
We could try to buy a mule, you know.
Why would we take a mule through the wilderness?
I'm
That would
pretty sure a
cause
mule could handle
be
the wilderness better than I
Far
can.
too much attention. Oh, well then you can be our mule. Best of both worlds.
Hey.
Wait, no, that's not.
You walked into that one.
I think that is what you meant. You just didn't want to say it. But don't worry about it. I got it. And if I don't, I'm sure Wynn has more than enough muscle for all of us.
Got muscles. Win.
She has names for her muscles.
That's going to be the little clip at the start, which you just So we're gonna hold on. Yeah, travel, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's not long after this village, the village of Isoldis, and the vampire and Clavis Kisvile shrine, you come out of the forest gives way to rolling grasslands that are common here along the Gold Coast. It dries up, stops raining every single day. Still a little bit chilly. Should be warmer. But nothing that you guys can't overcome just by bundling up a little bit. There's something I've been kind of wanting to do here for a bit, and I'm going to take this opportunity. There's one night Vale, you find yourself unable to sleep, just for whatever reason. So you're awake around the campfire. You can hear the sleeping noises or whatever noises they make during the night of... what's your name, Rob? I know. Razor.
There you go.
Neo Lil Flineth, and Win on watch nearby or awake, or I don't know how you guys, I'm just making it up. I'm just trying to force Bertolas and Vale to have some moments of forced role-playing here over the campfire, this low campfire. Because I feel like we haven't got a lot of small talk, and you two are supposed to be a pair, and I'm going to make you role-play now.
Big Daddy DM says roleplay.
Do it. The rest of you, you're not barred from waking up and participating, but like, use your role player sense to see where this goes. I don't know. We'll give it 15 minutes or whatever. I don't until we're done.
Oh, you expect me to off the cuff roleplay 15 minutes? Great, cool.
Go.
Yeah,
I make you bigger. Ooh.
I believe
And scene.
So, Bertolus, something's been troubling me. I can't quite sleep. It just seems wrong that we have that person's soul in that sword.
I mean, it's a vampire. Is it really even a person anymore?
Well, I mean, the soul was a person before it was a vampire, right? That
Wouldn't being a vampire kind of corrupt all that?
I mean, definitely was a bad choice. But so was selling your soul in a bargain to a Daedric prince, I think.
It sounds like he made several bad choices. I mean, I'm not sure I really feel bad about it. I mean, if it were a person, sure, but...
A person?
not a vampire person.
I
Like a
mean,
you person or a me person.
it seems right that someone who has made such a pact with dark forces needs to be stopped. Clearly, they were doing bad things, and the sorts of things that are not good for, the world. So comfortable with stopping them, but like now you get to carry that soul with you, and that seems, I don't know, a bit dark, I guess. Like maybe that's not the result we need for a brighter world.
I mean, if it's used to stamp out other darkness, what's the problem?
So, I mean, is this something you're used to? I mean, that you're comfortable with?
I don't know if. Sorry, Casey, you keep making his face really big.
So yeah, sorry. I was trying to be like, oh, I can make them big on the screen. They're the two of them are talking. Try to give them a spotlight, but
No, I just suddenly his face got real big in my periphery, and I'm just like, ah.
Hi, Bertolus.
Thanks.
Wee!
How you doing? Am I used to it? I mean, honestly, I started my adult life at 15 fighting Daedra Cores. Just seems kind of normal now.
How did that happen? Like, was that part of the great happening?
Yeah, my father was leading our town forces against a small invasion of our city, and I was old enough to take up arms, and we kind of needed everything we had. We
That's
were just we we were gonna lose too before before a group of knights showed up.
I'll admit that such horrors as that are ones that I have not seen or somewhat isolated from. Even when the darkness happened, I did not get out of my temple. In fact, this is really the first time I've seen the life outside here. Has it always been this harsh?
No, not when I was a kid, a child. It was, I don't know if you'd call it more normal, but certainly wasn't as hard or dark.
I'm glad that you can remember that, because that's where we want to be, right? That's where we would like the world to become back to where it was, where kids could be happy and we didn't have to face such things like this.
Well, I mean, that's why I joined the Knights of the Dragon like my grandmother. They've always been a force for that kind of goal.
I guess I would hope that there is a time when you wouldn't have to carry that sword with someone's soul in it in order to right the wrongs. But I
Vale,
guess we are today.
there will never be a time where people don't have to carry arms.
War never changes.
I
It may not be as dark as now, but
I mean, I suppose there will always be the kind of random or need for fail stops and things. I mean, I know that there'll always be some need for uh, weapons in war for order, but one hopes that it's just little things, and we don't see these situations where hundreds or thousands are dying at the hands of weapons. It seems horrific.
It is.
I've learned much from my mother, although not directly. But certainly, the more we can spend our time working together and growing a better world, and using love to put that together, I think the better off we're going to be. I, it's just always so sad to me that you have to carry a weapon of hate with you.
Did you learn nothing from your father?
I did not. I mean, I do not know my father, I guess. Um, I've only known those that raised me in the temple.
So you know nothing of him?
Pauses. No, no, I do not.
Not even a name.
I was delivered as uh, the son of Mara by the goddess herself, and no amount of prayer has taught me, or the priests at my temple, who the father might have been. Perhaps there was not one.
I see.
And you knew your parents, though. Your mother was a dragon warrior?
My grandmother was a Knight of the Dragon. Several of my ancestors served in the knighthood.
So your family has always seen the war.
Yes.
Well, I suppose it's good that both of us are here then, because we can see both what I will certainly see what I hope the world can be, and then um, and you can see why it should not be war as well. I guess I'm saying do you like that profession your family has put you upon?
It brings me purpose. I feel it's my fate. Just as it's my fate to be here,
Well,
protecting you.
I do understand destiny, and I do sort of apologize, for I feel all of you have been swept up a bit in my destiny.
You don't say.
I think it's been my destiny longer than many of the others.
Oh, I don't understand.
Many years ago, a young squire saved the life of my father. It's a life debt that my father owed him out of honor. That squire was the one who rode to our aid during the crisis, but he died. He told my father to find you, but my father has died. So now it is my duty.
Wait, he knew of me?
His name was Vandrick Harthing.
Vandrick Parthy. And
Harthing.
how did he know me? Or of me?
I don't know. My father didn't tell me as much as I really would have liked to have known. All I knew was to find you, not what to do once I did. Though keeping you alive seems a good start.
Well, certainly I enjoy that, although it does seem like the will of Mara works in strange ways. But Vale kind of has like a little bit of a glazed over look. Like his mind is a little bit elsewhere as he says that, as his gaze kind of passes by you into the night and up towards the stars for a moment before he comes back.
I regret to say, but I had his signet ring, but when I was arrested, so I could get thrown into jail with you, I lost it.
Wait, you got arrested just to get into jail with me?
I had to stay close.
I don't know how I can repay such a debt, but if there's a way.
Well, don't die.
There it is.
Okay, well, shifting back into kind of his normal mode, he like puts a hand on Bertrand's shoulders and says, "Do not worry, the goddess Mara also protects me."
Okay.
But then sits back down and starts looking pretty introspective for the moment.
Yeah, there's. I'm sure it's a moment we've all kind of shared where you just kind of there's the campfire and you kind of stare into the coals, just kind of absorbed by, just, you know. So it's hard to put into words that moment where it's just like the fire just draws you in. You're just there, the heat radiating, coming onto your face. You know, the group of people around you. It's just that moment of pure like presence of being just there and your thoughts and yeah. Thank you guys. Well, since you mentioned it, Aaron, we should probably resolve this before we get too far afield. I was going to play around with your dad being alive, but if you would prefer him to be dead, we can do that.
No, I think that's why I'm here, is because he's dead.
Because he's dead?
Yeah.
I was going with he was otherwise incapable.
Communication.
But it's fine. He's dead. He's dead. Ruled. He died.
DED dead.
Or do you just think he died?
I mean, that could be.
Just assuming?
The gods work in mysterious ways.
Oh, God.
Exactly.
He might not have been dead when I left on this mission. Just, what I would take as death's door.
Yeah, dying.
And so by now I just assume.
All right. Well, that leaves a crack in the door for me to play with if I need to. I'll try to respect your choice there, though.
He said as he laughed.
I'm just based. We could have this conversation in private, but based on just your character's unresolved daddy issues, it'd be fun to have him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Around. If he's dead,
I'm not bitter.
Look at you. You've got problems.
I don't have daddy issues.
Thank you guys. Thanks. Gosh. That's good. It was fun. Thank you. All right. So I have written down step 1, recap. Step 2, what to do with the treasure. We did that. Step 3, Vale and Bertolas, RP time. Forest gives way to grasslands. Got it. Number 4 is where to travel, and then I have City of Rihad, I think. is where we're going. Continuing on. I'm gonna bring that map back. Yeah, so you guys are still in Cyrodiil, traveling pretty well north of Skingrad, Kavach, and Anvil. But after a brief, quick, montage of you guys walking on different roads, you come across, there's this big river, and on the other side, a city, a walled city. It kind of straddles this nice little harbor. There's a bridge. We're going to say there's a bridge. Easy access over the bridge.
Having presumably been the one to guide us this far, once we get to the river's edge and can see the city, Neo is just going to gesture grandly at the city and be like, ta-da!
You're not going to show us around the city?
But no.
Ha.
Has Neo been inside the city?
No.
Wait, so where are we going to stay tonight? You don't know of any inns?
I failed to understand the tada. What was I mean, we're here.
I got you here alive. That's worth something.
Thank you, Neolithineth.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Thank you.
Bertolus. At least someone is grateful for my skills.
I never said I wasn't grateful. I was just saying it's an awful lot of showmanship.
All right, I will be your deadpanned, emotionless guide for the rest of the journey. Does that make you happy, Razor?
Don't try and take my thing.
Oh no, you are packed full of emotions, and you do show them in every movement. But don't worry about it.
Oh yes, because we elves are just so overcome with emotions.
See,
he has
that
several
right there,
emotions.
That right there was at least 3 different emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Bertolus can see it, and he's half man?
Hey, thanks.
Trying. If I'm going to be stuck with you all, I may as well be friendly.
Though now, whenever I strike somebody down in combat, I'm going to say tada.
You should. It is a flawless war cry. Isn't that right, Win?
Yes. She's
See,
confused.
the Apex Warrior agrees with me, so obviously it's true.
Uh-huh.
No, is that really a thing?
Of
And
course
it's
it
not
is.
just
What does
because and it's not just
Apex
because
Warrior?
Wynn's
No, you're the
personality
protector.
demands that she be
You have a shield,
very
you have
exuberant
veil.
about being pro
The
anything the party says.
Romance connection you guys got going, you're a protector. It's okay.
Bromance? What?
What?
Maybe it's just a Valenwood thing. We should keep going. I see a bridge over there.
Oh,
Does
Lord.
fish below it?
Maybe we can look. Can you? Oh wait, you can't swim. We established that at Cyrodiil. Would you like to learn?
No. No.
Oh,
No, you really need to learn, because
Nope.
you'll probably die if you don't.
Nope.
Aren't we going to a desert?
Yep, that's yep.
I mean, that's one of the 4 places we're going to go. Though I don't think any of them are on an island. So maybe you're fine. Man, I wish I could do less emotion in my voice, because I feel like I'm giving her way too much inflection, but I can't help it.
Curse me for having an inflective voice.
The struggles, man.
Something like that.
All right. To the city.
To a bridge.
Gonna hawk some
Yep.
wares.
Gonna go to the city, gonna sell some stuff.
Maybe buy.
Gonna restock supplies.
There is. I keep bringing up this map and putting it away. There is the city of Tanith is probably your next main stop. So there is another. You guys don't have to like prep for the desert. And along the coast here between Rahad and Tanith is, I mean, there is some forested areas and whatnot. If you go inland just a little bit into the the Goldmoor there, it gets much drier, hillier, pretty quick. But along the coast, there are still forests and things.
So, how long are we all planning on being here? So I think I've made it fairly clear that I'm not a big fan of cities.
It does seem like on our journey there may be few cities or times we could find rest like this.
So if you all, gesturing at the group, want to stay
Uh-huh.
inside the walls, that totally works for me. I will simply stay out here, where I feel comfortable and can hunt for alchemical ingredients.
What if something happens to us while we're inside, or something happens to you while you're outside?
There will be 4 of you. You'll be fine. And
What about you?
Yeah.
nature is where I am most potent. I will be
Well,
fine.
No,
I-
nature's where
I-
all the marauders are.
I could
Right.
go with
You think I haven't fought them? I will be fine.
Yeah.
person.
I think someone should stay with you just in case.
I can do it. I don't like cities as much as anybody else.
Wynn should do fine.
Yeah, it only makes sense that we split the elves into 2 different groups.
I mean, you two
Whatever
do bicker
suits
a
your
lot.
fancy.
Mm,
Look, just because he's...
we don't bicker,
worry
we
about
have
it.
discourse.
No, we bicker.
It's very civil.
Sometimes it is.
Bale, isn't it cute how
Regardless.
the Mer think they're so much better than us?
I mean, I've lived
Oh.
literally twice as long as you've currently been alive already.
Yeah,
I do
By
try
a
to
lot.
look better than people because
probably
of my
about
health.
4 times for me.
Vale, you
You're
are
80?
a very sweet child. aren't
I'm
you?
99, partner.
Oh, so you're 5 times my age. Oh.
Yeah,
He's a very old man.
I am not an old man.
How are you not on
Mhm.
death's door?
He is. Can't you
I
see in the
still
way he
have-
walks?
I still have a good 200 years left.
Oh, yes. 200 years of stress and alcoholism.
And then it takes another.
Wynn, would you like to go over the bridge with me?
Yeah.
Maybe you might, but your liver doesn't.
Well, that's what magic's for.
I'm gonna side with Bertolas on that one, as I slide my arm through Wynn's and then begin to walk across the bridge with a very purposeful intent.
Money.
Well, you
We need the money.
the center.
As you're taking a drink there, Razor,
Mhm.
and you know you feel the swallow, you swallow it, and you feel that kind of familiar buzz kind of creeping in. You swear to God, you hear whispering in your own mind. Maybe like laughing, maybe some sort of revelry, like just the hint of in the back of your mind. And then it passes, just like the briefest. I mean, I don't even know why I'm mentioning it. Why would I?
Yeah, so I'll stop saying words for a moment and then
I hope I did that right.
let's go.
So is the bridge into the city then? Or did I miss that?
I think it's into
Sorry,
the
what?
city.
Yeah, into the city. So Wynn and Neo go first across the bridge, and then Razor, for some reason, pauses and then follows after you and Bertolass. We find ourselves the city of where the bridge comes across, like the city, the wall is right kind of up close there. And so I imagine Neo and you pick a spot to meet up later.
I mean, I'm assuming they're following behind me. I'm not intending to split the party.
Oh, you're
That
going
will
into
be
the city.
after we sell stuff.
Okay.
Then
Yep.
I will come back outside the walls.
Got it.
When it's directly in the middle of this bridge, like smack dab in the middle.
The city is the capital of a smaller kingdom, and there is as you come in, there's like you can see the tippy tops of a palace off in the distance. Parts of this city, though, as is just kind of expected now, are kind of wrecked, and it hasn't been repaired like the Imperial City was. Though the damage, it looks like, I mean, there's still a city here, obviously, and there's still people living here, and the walls seem to be strong. So it might have been a light attack here. There might have just been a few Daedra, and maybe it was more damage before, and they've repaired some of it, but still a functioning city. You guys make your way over to the market district area, kind of a center, tents and vendors set up. Busy, but those of you who are familiar with city, you can imagine it being busier. There's people around, but like you could clearly see how this could be more jam-packed. Whereas to maybe Neo and Win, it feels like hectic, claustrophobic, agoraphobic, fear of crowds.
That is the fear of crowds.
Yep.
Agoraphobia.
Wow, this town feels really dead.
That's bizarre, but we should just keep going, I suppose.
And you find yourself, somebody make me the speech check to sell your wares here. We'll try to get this over with.
Am I doing it? I'll do it.
Quickly. Do it up.
Wait, hold on. How do we do this again? Is it the @
It's /fate space.
Oh, okay,
and
right,
then whatever your skill level is.
It's not great. Hey, I did fair.
Hey, well, we'll take
I rolled
it.
above 0.
Good job.
Well,
All right. So you get 70% of the value. And so,
alrighty.
Could have gone worse.
all right. Oh, this isn't gonna my idea how this was gonna. Okay, what are we selling here?
The spell tome for Hailstone, the silver necklace worth 50. We have a silver garnet ring for 150. And probably the small diamond, since none of us are going to use it, but I don't have value for that.
What are diamonds useful for? I thought they were like an alchemical thing.
Not
No,
in this.
they're just a valuable stone.
In theory, it could be used to craft items if you wanted to make jewelry, but I don't know if that is something you want to pursue, Bertula, since you're the only smith we have.
I mean,
Might have more
I guess I
important things. at
could,
the
but maybe we need money first, yeah.
And then what of the book Nirvar Moon and Star? Keeping that?
Yeah, we're keeping
Win
that.
is reading that one.
The books of that don't have names are just random.
Yeah, the random books will sell those.
Okay. Keeping everything else.
Including the lockable box.
I calculate 406 septums.
Hey,
That's what you're able to get out of that.
All right.
what's that come out to each?
Our total is currently 552. So we each get 110.
Yeah.
Right on.
With 2 left over.
Yep.
A tip for whoever is doing the accounting.
I guess that's you.
Well, I'll take it.
All right. Anything you guys would like to purchase?
Better arrows.
Well, let's have a look-see, shall we?
Indeed.
Anyone in the chat have a suggestion? What should I buy?
Yes.
The Mace of Moloch ball.
Shopping is the most intriguing thing on a stream.
Yes. Well,
I don't care anymore. I find myself rejecting the unneeded social pressure and stress I put on myself when we're doing a stream. Because really it's just Alex and Jen and Lucas and those
And
people.
occasional
Armor.
others.
Occasional random
oh, I
someone else.
forgot to tell my friend that we were streaming. Oops.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vale's going to get bored during the whole selling things section and like wander off into nearby tents looking for, I don't know, people in need of cheering up.
Classic Vale.
Sure. Roll me a perception.
I'm just gonna go to the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
It
no.
was very average.
Don't me.
You wander around a little bit, and you maybe even in the marketplace get a little bit turned around. You're not exactly sure where the others stepped off to. Usually Bertolas is right there, but he was busy talking with the merchant. But you find your a person who's kind of looking is finally like someone says like, I'm tired of hearing your problems. You overhear this. I'm tired of hearing your problems. Just you're gonna have to deal with the just deal with it, and like walks off in a huff. And the woman there like sits down and just kind of like looks dejected as she sits on like a bench up against the side of a building.
What seems to be the problem?
She looks up at you and like you see frustration on her face. And she looks around like where'd my other friend go, and then like looks at you, kind of looks you up and down. She says, "It's my lord, just my son. He is gone off to join that general off in Skyrim, trying to overthrow the Empire, and
I'm sorry, and you're worried that he will find
he'll find exactly what he's looking for."
there are those, I think, especially in these times, that see that the only solution out there is one at the end of a blade or with a sword in their hand. And it is too bad that he could not have understood the true value of some other pursuits. What is it that your family does?
Oh, we're cobblers.
Nice.
We cobble shoes.
I do not think that if your son has already left, there is any chance that I can, anyway, as your friend said, that we can find him and bring him back safely. But we can perhaps pray that someone will be looking after him, and that he will find that after his time here that there was value home with you and in perhaps even in cobbling, as something that I look around that everyone does need at some point.
You're right. It's just I wish I tried to tell him the same, basically what you're saying, but I clearly don't have your way with words.
Has he left town then?
It's been a little. It's been a week. Yeah.
Well, we will be in town for a bit.
What's your name?
I am Vale, and I come blessed by the goddess Mara, and will help. And I will ask her to keep an eye on your son if you would to give me but his name, and we will see in some hope that things work out the best. For I am sure that he still loves his mother as a mother loves her son.
His name is Danderick. Danderick.
Danderick, that's a cool name.
Danderick.
In the meantime, I do have a long journey ahead of myself, and if you wish to show me to your cobbler's shop, I can, as a minimum, get some shoes.
Oh, yeah. One thing to note, I was just realizing, and should have maybe red guard. It's red. Lots of red guards as you've moved further west. The number of red guards has increased, and the that sort of imperial style of buildings and construction. Not that you saw a lot of that because you were in Imperial City, which is Aliad, but it's slightly different. Like the walls are more. Looks like they were built by a different culture. Small kingdom of I can't remember what the name of this one is, but yeah.
I mean, anyways, I am planning kind of like wandering off back to her shop, buying some shoes, maybe getting distracted. I don't know.
Cool.
Easily distracted.
At some point, Bertolas, you realize that Vale's wandered off.
Oh, son of a! Did anyone see where
it looks
he went?
like he went that way.
I wander off that direction.
Good luck.
So you've got his like share of the money. You got your share and his share.
Yeah.
Razor, you get your share and you head off towards the tavern. Neo and Win.
Well, I can't afford a better bow yet, so anything here appeal to you?
I'm looking for here either.
Well, the only other thing I can think of is stopping by what passes as an alchemy shop here, seeing if they have anything that I can use. But we could also just go outside the walls and forage for it. Just limits what I might find to what grows here instead of what I might be able to buy.
Purchasing, we'll say that pretty much anything on the list is there. Maybe some of the crazier
Some of the things that you can only get from Oblivion. A little rare, a little more expensive.
Yeah. And then the common items are really easy to find. Yeah. So what is it? What's your decision?
Is there anything you might want to buy? I'm not fond of staying in town for a terribly long time.
I want to buy what I need, and what I need is not here.
Fair enough. We'll swing by the alchemy shop and see if they have what I'm looking for. Then outside the walls we go. Well, we should probably let somebody know. Nah, they'll be able to find us. Or we'll be able to find them.
If you
So-
over at Bertolas, he couldn't follow Vale for the life of him. He clearly was.
Yes, but acknowledging that would mean staying in town to keep an eye on them. And I dislike that option.
Agreed.
So outside the city, then.
Alchemy shop first. I want to
Okay.
see if they have Nightshade or Stinkhorn or Wisp stock caps for no particular reason.
Don't trust you.
Is there a good reason why I should say no?
I mean, do you want me to not do poisons? Because that's what I'm doing.
Shade, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, those all
Can
sound like
always-
things you'd find at a.
Can always leave it up to
Alchemist
the
shop.
dice.
Yeah, but I don't
In
know
which
what
case-
I want to.
I don't know how expensive these are in game, depending on which system we're using.
Yeah.
Going with Oblivion prices, Skyrim
I
prices.
definitely
What are we
maybe could have
doing?
just taken the prices straight out of Oblivion and used those. That might have been a lot easier, but I
Okay.
already went through and yeah, let's just go ahead and use the Oblivion prices.
All right.
Well, if it's crazy imbalanced, if it's too cheap, then we can bump them up, or if it's too expensive, we can lower it. But I'm going to guess that they're right within where we'd want them to be.
Their base value is a septum,
So they're pretty cheap.
but I'm guessing in a store that's probably like 3 to 5,
They'd mark
depending.
them up. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. How many do I have of the thing that I want? Ugh, I don't have any. Mer. All right. How much do they have? Because that will determine how much I buy of each of those 3 things.
They don't keep a huge stock of anything really, except for like the really common
Yeah.
things. A lot of the more rarer ingredients will get sold pretty quick and
Yep.
harder to bring back in. So roll 20. I don't want to roll 20. I want to roll a d3. Roll a d3. That's how many there are.
That's exclamation?
I think so.
Oh, not in this one. Hold on. Where is one of the ones that has that?
There you go.
Yay! Thank you.
Huh.
There too. I will buy them both.
Okay. Razor. The two of you are so okay. Neo, Win, two of you finish that up. Then you're going to head outside. We might have a little moment with you outside. But Razor, in the you head to the nearest tavern. Oh, I had a list. I liked some of their names, so I'm going to look this up. Okay. Inns / taverns, bars. There is the Dirty Serpent, the Golden Ship, the Green Noose, the Haunted Cup, the King's Dagger, the Laughing Chest, the Red Port, the Restless Cutlass, the Restless Port, the Screaming Galley, the Unfortunate Treasure, the White Mug, and the White Treasure. Which one do you happen to go to? Any of those names stick out?
The green noose?
The Green Noose. Yep.
The green news does kind of stick out. Yeah, I guess I'll go to that one. Hopefully they've got what I'm looking for.
Yeah. The Green Noose. It's well, what are you looking for?
I know we're like really far out west, so but I'm hoping to find some Morrowind fare, specifically
Food.
Sujamma.
Oh, looking for some food. The
Food.
Green Noose.
or possibly, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
Morrowind food and drink.
I think Tamriel overall is a pretty cosmopolitan society. So like
Mhm.
I met like there are a bunch of red guards, more red guards now, but
Right, because we're in Hammerfell, but
right. There's still all sorts of all the
yeah,
other
it's still
types
Imperial
of
province.
folks.
So
So yeah, you're able to find, and that's maybe one of the amazing things about the Empire, and about even though it's kind of falling apart, you still find food that you know reminds you of Morrowind here. Maybe it's not
mhm.
made right. Maybe it's like the Hammerfellian version,
Right.
just like American Chinese, like Tex-Mex isn't exactly. It's kind
Right.
of its own rendition of it, so it's not perfect. But hey, it's the same name at the very least, and basically the same basic ingredients. Here at the Green Noose, which it's literally instead of a sign that says the great, it's literally just a green noose that hangs off the like entrance. Painted green, it looks like. And you're in there, and you overhear like some merchants talking, and they're like, "Yeah, we came south through the road from not Solitude, Sentinel.
Mm-hmm.
Came south out of Sentinel. That road the main road goes through the edge of the Alakir Desert, and it's dangerous times to be trying to transport things north-south. They're going to have to do something about it there. If you've heard of this guy, they're calling him the Scourge. Scourge of the Desert, or the Scourge of Hammerfell. Somebody's going to have to bring him in. Yeah, you overhear that. That's a thing you overhear.
Well, I guess I'll have to take my drink over there, and so the roads are dangerous.
One of them. We'll say one of them is a Dunmer. He's like, "Hey, fellow Dunmer."
All right, we all talk like this, man.
Yeah. You want to have a seat here with us?
Of course.
And his merchant buddy's like, "Yeah, we've been traveling. We picked up a bunch of supplies that had just been, something that's in like Hype, some other province you can only get, and we were transporting it, and we came up across 3 different caravans that had all been attacked. Not everyone was dead, but it seems like they're just making it dangerous. If you don't have armed guards, that road, I don't know. Eventually it's gonna, they're gonna strangle some of these cities dry. That trade.
That's a shame.
Trade route's gonna. There are towns out there that rely on it. I don't know who's gonna. Seems like no one has the strength to deal with these. Well, we were lucky. We didn't actually get attacked ourselves. It seems, but his friend. I had heard from another group that the nomads are getting pushed out of their traditional territory. Something's wrong with the desert. You can notice it at nights.
Something's wrong with the desert, huh?
Yeah, just one of those feelings, I don't know, Starry Night.
Well,
That's why That's why me and my family stayed out here in Hammerfell. Desert's peaceful at night. Well, except for what with the freaking what are they called? Land crocodiles.
Oh yeah.
Whatever those are called. I can't remember. But yeah. It's just wrong. Everything feels off. And what with the danger, it's just the nomads are moving out. Makes sense that some of them would turn to raiding.
Very interesting. Thank you for your time, gentlemen. As we are planning on moving north, and this information is incredibly valuable.
Oh, you're a traveler yourself. I'm Synthan, and it's my compatriot Merlac.
Synethian.
What's your name, friend?
My name is Razor.
Razor. Yeah, if you're going to be traveling up that direction, make sure if you go with a big group, maybe able to dissuade attackers. Or and he kind of looks at your robes, looks at you, or maybe they should be afraid of you.
Well, I mean, I do know some magic that should keep me safe, but still, I'd rather avoid a fight if it's at all possible.
Make sure to bring extra water. Believe it or not, despite the fact that it's a desert, there's actually a drought.
Well, we'll keep that in mind. I'll make sure that we buy some extra water rations.
Cool.
After that, I'll take my leave and try and find everyone else.
Bertolus, you look around for a little while, and eventually you find Vale, or Vale finds you. You guys bump into each other as you're wandering around the market.
I may have new shoes.
Hey, I like your shoes. Where'd you get them?
Local cobbler over there.
I need some new clothes. Here's your money.
Oh, excellent. Looks at the money briefly, like he doesn't really know what to do with it, puts it away.
Do you always just wander off on your own?
I mean, I spent the first 18 years of my life cooped up in a temple without able to leave. So I'm planning on wandering around a lot, I guess. Yes.
Okay, but why do you have to do it alone?
Well, I think you would have found the whole experience incredibly boring. There was no stabbing or need for stabbing, and
You
I've
think
learned a
all
lot
I do
about
is
a mother's-
stab?
I mean, I learned about a mother's love for her son.
I have other interests besides stabbing.
I know what they're doing, what they had for breakfast. I learned the basics of cobbling, even just really very, very basics.
I mean, that's gonna. But I actually do need boots, so.
Oh, sure, I know a place. Come this way.
Perfect.
I mostly want to buy new clothes, new boots, white brimmed hat, keep the sun off my face.
Yeah. Yep.
A good set of cookware, cast iron stuff.
Yeah, mark off
Basics.
30-ish. 30.
All right.
That sounds reasonable. There are no objections.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Everybody thinks that's fair. As soon as you kind of wander out through the market district, eventually Razor will join you. But I want to check in with Neo and Win outdoors. You're gonna take Win out for a scavenging or an alchemy adventure, or is there something else specific?
On the outskirts of town, and like I noticed like the clothing, like there's a clothing shop for like that's kind of like billowy white stuff that covers your face and your. I'm gonna stop there, and I grab Neolithineth's hand. Perhaps we should stop here. We are not geared towards this kind of weather.
What are you? Oh, we're not going to be in the woods anymore, are we?
No, sun is unforgiving, and
Okay. You're
I
probably right.
pull her towards the little like stand, and I
Mhm.
point to like 2 cloaks and some water skins, I guess, or we have some water skins. I don't know, but just your basics to keep out of the sun.
We'll say that the person, that's a red guard. It is one of you. Kind of. This person is clearly citied, urbanized themselves, but you've seen similar type of garb in like some of the other different tribes, not your people, not your particular set of nomadic groups or family tribe groups, but there were others out there in the desert, other nomads, and this guy looks like one of them.
All right, I talk to him in like more of the tribal dialect.
Sure, yeah, I got like a adaptation or that exists.
Yeah, there must be. That it has happened. So I speak to him in tribal dialect. Maybe he'll give us like a little bit of a discount or something. With like his better wares.
You want the good stuff, the cheaply made.
Not the common stuff, no.
He is. At first, he's like, you would even suggest that I would sell below subpar quality things, and he kind of goes on for a little bit. I would never do such a thing. Oh, you messaged me some stuff. Secret messages.
That's okay. It's totally fine. I think most of it. Yeah.
Got it. I see it. Got it. Yep.
All right. But anyways, so yeah, I give him a look like we know better. Like you can't pull this fast one on me.
Right. And so he eventually he puts on a little bit of a show of it. He's just really being a salesman sort of thing here. And eventually he's like, oh, you want, so all of it's really good quality, but this is extra special quality, and I'll give it to you for the price of the regular stuff. Okay. And I mean, you with your eye, you can tell like, yeah, he went and grabbed the better of his wares. And he even, he pulls out, he reaches in, he's got like little bits of trinkets and jewelry that he kind of offers up. One of the things that Hammerfell is known for is their raw materials, that lots of strategic resources. And things.
You know what? Actually, so if there is a good cloak clasp that is like done up in green, like a green leaf or something, I'm gonna get that.
There is a green. What's common here in Hammerfell is the aloe leaf.
Okay.
I believe so. Heck yeah! You find a little custom, kind of stylized clasp. Maybe a couple inches long. And he throws it in for 20 septims extra.
So how much am I looking at total?
Let's call it 30 again. 30 cents.
Okay.
I like that number.
I buy it, and then I give out one of the cloaks over to Neolithineth. On top of that is that little clasp.
Oh.
Oh, I was
I actually recognize this.
A green leaf doesn't sound like wind to me. I should have seen it coming. Oh.
You should have.
No.
I mean, I totally saw it coming, but I'm still okay with it.
I'm an idiot, so.
And she looks away, like flesh on her face, but then she puts on the cloak herself, and she's like, "Well, let's go."
Are these sand colored? Am I going to blend in when we're out in the desert? I don't know how to hide when there's not trees.
How do you put this thing on?
There are dunes out there.
Do
You'll
I
figure
put
it out.
through here, or do I
Okay,
wrap
hold
it,
on,
or
Hold on. And like
this
she
goes over my armor?
it does go over your armor. And then
Okay.
she fixes it up and then she puts a clasp on and then she puts a hood over your ears and stuff. There.
Ah,
And then this part like wraps around your face in case there is a windstorm.
Oh, face wrappings are the best. Now you can't tell what emotion I'm expressing.
Or now.
Thank you, Win. This will probably do much better than my usual forest wares. Ah, the desert. Well, maybe there'll be some interesting plants.
They are.
Speaking of interesting plants, on our way in across the bridge, I saw a lovely patch of mushrooms, and I want to go check and see what they are.
Oh, they're elf
That's
cup.
100%
elf cup
BS.
cap.
You don't actually have to. Elf cup, huh?
Yep.
Alright. Go cut some mature mushrooms, leave some behind so they can keep growing, doing what they're doing.
They can respore. Whatever.
Launch into a quiet diatribe about various fungi and their uses, to which I don't know how much Win pays attention.
She seems to be paying attention, but still kind of like looking around to keep an eye out for any narrow duels. But overall, she actually seems a little bit more relaxed in this environment than she has been since you met her.
All right.
Yeah, as you're looking around, keeping an eye out for ne'er-do-wells, you spot one as Razor finds you guys here outside the city wall. Not far, not too hard to spot, Razor. You see them over there.
Just doing stuff.
Collecting herbs, I see.
Elf cup mushrooms.
Very useful.
Indeed, they can be. I was just telling Win here about the various different kinds of fungi that we might be able to find in this area, and I think over there might. Don't care, right?
I actually do care. I think that your knowledge on this particular subject is fairly extensive.
Well, it's about to come to an end. I only know Cyrodiil particularly well.
Well, trial and error was always particularly useful when it comes to the subject of alchemy, so I'm sure you'll figure it out.
I don't know, there's some things I'd rather not error on when it comes to just eating random ingredients.
Well, I am fairly knowledgeable myself, so I would be more than willing to assist you.
Win kind of like bites the watch to roll her eyes.
We appreciate
regardless, regardless, I came out here to tell you that there's been a change of situation. Namely, I don't think it's safe for you to be staying outside.
Why not? Being out here is better.
As I understand it, no. As I understand it, it's far more dangerous out here, especially at night. Apparently there is a roving band of bandits that have been wandering the roads and outside the cities. And there are also strange happenstances that have been going on in the desert. To quote several patrons who've been traveling.
Desert, though, not this side. Like, this is Cyrodiil. Here we are, in the desert. If we go that way...
Wait a second, what is going on?
There are strange things afoot at the Circle K. No, there's something odd is happening in the desert.
What odd?
People don't wander the desert at night, and traveling has become much more dangerous as of late. Which is why most people have been taking refuge in the town and
desert, not the woods. Now I have to sleep inside a city.
Have they talked about what exactly was causing this disturbance?
Nobody seems to know. All they know is that people have been attacked on the roads and outside the cities, and an overall sense of unease that something evil lurks in the desert. Nobody was very clear on the subject, but finding somebody who was willing to actually go out there and investigate is few and far between.
Then why
Mostly
not
due to the fact of the Empire's lack of presence out here.
Why not we investigate then?
Well, I have a feeling that we're going to end up investigating it at this endpoint because we're heading further into the desert. So,
Well, and if we
whatever is wrong out there, we will run into it.
If we've figured anything out about Vale at this point, it is that he will help regardless of being asked if it is in the interest of the people. So the second he hears about it, we will be derailed. But for a good cause,
Which
so
is why I didn't tell him.
If you have found out, I am sure that he will find out.
Yeah, that's a fair bet.
Besides, what's a little bit of good done in the world?
Other than being distracted from the primary task at hand, it's fine.
I mean, if fate draws us towards them, perhaps that is where we're meant to be, or whatever Vale would say in this context.
Not really.
I don't actually know. Would he lean towards fate, destiny, drawing us towards this evil here that will somehow be connected to the thing that we're supposed to be doing? Or would he lean more towards, it is a good thing to do, so we should do it inherently?
The first one.
The first one? Are you sure?
Yep. Because it's a little bit more fluffy.
That is fair. Perhaps. Should we go see? If I have to sleep in a city tonight anyway.
She casts a baleful look over at the city, and then looks over to where there's a big giant empty space of land that is the desert. Yeah.
Oh yes, I'm so sad we're not sleeping in the sand.
Well, you might not be, but I kind of am. At least in the sand you can see whatever's coming for you relatively quickly. There's few places to hide.
Well, we'll have more than an opportunity to sleep in the sand when we leave the city. But for now, we should stick together.
All right.
I suppose.
Sleeping in the city. Do you take them to the Green Noose or something else?
I mean, it depends on where they... Let's try and find some place that's relatively nice.
There are a number of taverns or inns collected right around the entrance and exits to the city.
Mm-hmm.
Let's ask Vale. Is there an inn you have seen that you feel drawn to or are particularly interested in?
Yeah, you guys come into the city of just as Vale and Bertolas are like, where did they go? And then, hey, look, there they are. You guys are all back together.
Hey, that was easy.
Well, so Casey, I would probably pick like the one that has the most ostentatious and horrible, like beautiful, or things I would consider beautiful.
Got
but
it.
are probably ostentatious and horrible.
I'm gonna go with the White Treasure.
Oh God, I hate the name.
It's the building is all white, and then there's just got a gold circle. It kind of looks like the sun, but also like a coin, as their like symbol, and underneath in fancy letters, White Treasure.
It is a place that is perhaps at least looks to be pure, and but reminds us of its inner beauty.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been in yet, to be clear.
Upon walking in, it may be one of the closest things that we might find to like a modern hotel, where it's like nice. There's like a lobby. You can hear kind of a quiet tavern over to the side. So it's like kind of separated out, and like there's a greeter. Therefore, you can see back through. They have stone pillars, and further that there's a courtyard. Yeah, stone pillars, courtyard, and
Nice.
a pool, a shallow pool of water. And there are some bushes and plants and things there. And the greeter welcomes you to the White Treasure. The true treasure. Hospitality.
I believe we are looking for rooms for the night.
Very well, that'll be 8 septums per person.
What?
What if
Excuse me, let's say 8 septums per room.
I was going to say, what if the two ladies bunk up? That seems a frugal choice.
A
So
frugal
yeah, I pay
choice.
for 3 rooms then.
Ah, well, thank you, Vale.
The frugal bugle.
Well, I certainly won't argue.
3 rooms? Who gets a room to themselves?
Obviously,
I
I
think that's
do.
pretty obvious. Yeah.
Vale.
Well, Vale's not
That's
getting a
pretty
room
bad.
to himself.
Even Vale knows I get the room to myself.
Yeah, it's true. Vale says the line. I think that's relatively obvious, and it's either relatively obvious or he's wrong.
Right.
I mean, I had to ask, so I at least
Mhm.
completely missed that.
Right. Obviously, Bertolus and Vale will bunk up for safety. You two will bunk up for safety, and I'll be alone.
Just like you like it, right?
Last city we were at, Vale decided to wander off on his own in the middle of the night, so
Cat.
Why not
Kitty.
save
Yep.
extra septums and just bunk all together?
oh, I don't think that's necessary.
Which one will annoy Razor more? Bunking up together? Bunking up together. We do need all the money we can get. It is going to be a long journey.
Well, then we'd be all sleeping on the floor except for like one of us.
I don't mind sleeping on the floor.
You
The
don't
floor
need
here is probably just as hard as the earth outside. Probably harder.
I want a bed.
Okay. Sir or madam, do you have a room with at least 3 beds?
One of our grand suites has a multiple beds. Yes, that would be 15 septums
Oof, you're sleeping on the floor.
for one night.
Well, I mean,
That is
15
cheaper.
is still cheaper than 2 rooms. So
Yeah, a whole 9 septums. I'm for it.
All right, the grand suite it is.
Very
we will
well.
take your grand suite.
Very well. Follow me. First goes over to a little list, pulls it out, marks down, fills up the room, gives it over. You notice there's a lot of empty rooms on the sheet. Gives it back to the attendant there. They go and get keys. They turn around. They have 2 keys that they hand over to Vale. And lead you up into their establishment. You kind of walk along the edge of this pool up to a kind of narrow, like this pool. There's a shallow pool of water. And then they up this kind of narrow staircase into a row of, a fancy arched ceiling. But you notice that there's flakes of paint that are coming off, and looks like it hasn't been super kept up, all that well. But you get your rooms. It's this. There's kind of a large area with a table and a couple of other living room type things. And then on either side, there's doors, and there's 4 beds total.
Yeah. I don't mind sleeping on the floor. I
And,
volunteer.
yeah, they
I'm
they they also
together on one.
could bring you a pad or a cot or something.
Mm-hmm. At least let them bring you a pad or something.
Is there a bath in the room?
I will sleep on the floor.
No, the
There
baths are
4
down the hallway.
beds, Win.
Nice.
There are 4 beds. You can sleep in a
I'll
bed.
sleep on the floor. I'll sleep on the floor.
I'm Spartacus.
Nope.
No, I'm definitely not sleeping on the
That
floor.
will allow me to like kind of like. Is there like a balcony or something? Like maybe just go out there and I don't know, sleep there. I'm so close to home, man.
You know what? Yeah, I like that there's a balcony. Yeah, there's a balcony.
All right. I toss you the pillow and the blanket.
All right, that's where I'm going.
You're
Is
not
this-
gonna go bathe first? There's a bath just down the hall.
Well, I guess there's no point. You're just gonna get dirty again. But sure.
Right? Maybe living in the desert, using water to wash yourself, like only in
It's very wasteful.
yeah. There's other ways of cleaning yourself.
Yep.
It's something.
I'll
Oh.
pass as
Yeah.
well.
A dust bath.
Do elves not? Do Murs not bathe?
Yes, we do.
Does-
Although I hardly believe that the water's going to be hot enough.
Does Neolithlineth not bathe?
I do. It's just Win has a very good point. We're in a desert. It was stated earlier that there is a drought. Why waste water cleaning yourself, and the people could probably use that to drink or water plants.
I'm gonna go take a bath.
Suit yourself.
Good man.
Is there like a bard or a singing going on down in the tavern, or is it quiet?
It's relatively quiet.
Okay, well then I'm probably just reading my new spell book and going to bed.
Yeah, that's something I was gonna ask about. It's a good, and you are I'm gonna place you there in the living room. Razor, you notice, and maybe he's probably popped it out maybe a couple times, but this is where we've gotten to in our game. You see him bust out a spell book and start going over it.
Restoration.
But good. Let me know if you need any help with that. But if you've got it, you've got it.
I have learned the basics of magic that can help.
Yeah, because I want to I want to make this happen. It's an apprentice level spell, which you maybe started your training on how to do, but hadn't quite finished that that higher level of spell. So there are things that are more challenging in figuring out how to do it. I don't know. Magic is complicated.
It would be my first
Sure.
apprentice level spell.
Do you have other apprentice level spells?
No, this would be my first one.
This would be your first one. Okay, yeah.
So I guess the assumption there is that I do in fact ask Razor to help clarify some parts of the spell.
Yeah. Razor looks frozen.
Oh, we lost.
Whoa.
Well, that's it. You guys, I'm actually the traitor, and I just killed Razor. And Bertolus
Vale is
back
the
in the bath
imposter.
by himself.
Oh,
No. Yep.
Like, so I bet you guys weren't guessing me as the imposter. Ha 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 ha.
I mean,
Pretty
joke's
well
on
fooled.
us.
Yep.
Anyways, Razor, I do ask you for some assistance with my first apprentice level spell.
And I give you assistance, teaching you a little bit more about restoration, as I'm not too bad at it myself.
Yeah.
One might say I'm above average, but that's all one might say.
Right.
I don't want. We don't have to. I think my most ideal. We'll get into. I don't know. I don't want to force it too much, but there's maybe a brief montage of this night of Razor talking about different magica theory, and he's like, "Oh, you've gotten this style of training on your restoration, but this scholar from the Mages Guild talked about restoration in this context, and you're getting this, this church teaching, which may or may not help you, but maybe you should try this, and like different strategies on how ways that you haven't really thought of, because your training came from one particular thing, and Razor's offering you this kind of wider, and it also becomes apparent that Razor has had students before, though maybe him being slightly drunk most of the time makes it harder for him to do the teaching. Just my observation for the night.
I mean,
if you learn to teach while drunk, then you get to cast while drunk.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, train how you fight.
Yes.
So the night happens. Next day happens as well. I think we want to push us along here. You've got you restock up on supplies. We'll say. Don't worry about the cost there. I think it made you spend enough here and there. And you travel along the coast. It's like, the coast of Turkey or, the Eastern Mediterranean sort of deal. And you make your way towards the city of Tanith. I don't think we're going to have another city adventure. I think we want to push past. So we have a travel montage as well. More montages. There's, cutting to, Bertolus and Wynn sparring, practice, fighting with one another. Roll off. Let's see who gets the better of each other in your brief.
6. I'm just gonna peanut gallery it the whole time.
Yeah. Roll your one-handed, two-handed. Basically, whoever gets the better roll in this montage moment. Ooh.
Didn't roll good.
Didn't roll that.
Well, you did roll good. You rolled
Well,
exactly
I did roll good. But I didn't roll well.
Oh, and Bertolus barely.
Yeah.
Unless
You know
you're going to
what?
spend a fate point on your.
Yes, I am.
What?
Profession is almost go for it.
I'm a nomad without my tribe, but that doesn't mean I can't fight like I was taught, right?
Sure. Let's expand on that just a little bit. You guys are going back and forth. You're really just practicing. You guys aren't necessarily like at first trying to actually hit each other. You're really just practicing different grips, different, walking through, just staying in shape. You guys don't want to damage your weapons, that sort of thing. So you're trading blows back and forth, but you're also like trading banter back and forth. And then Bertolus says something like, your tribe sucks at teaching swordsmanship, or, it's something that maybe not necessarily crosses
Did you
the
learn
line.
this from your tribe? Ugh.
Ooh.
Which, yeah, which may, and so you're like, okay, well, I mean, yeah, and to you, when this sort of training is pretty light compared to the training that you went through as a child. And so you're like, all right, fine. And then so you step it up a notch, and you trounce Bertolus. You do a spin move, put your foot out underneath him, give him a shove, and with your larger sword, give it a slash. And he puts up a shield, catches it, trips over your sword, falls onto the ground.
Oh, hey! We're being friendly.
This is
Oh,
being friendly. That's at least what we teach our. I pulled a move that we usually teach our little children with.
I bit my lip.
Yeah, it may have been a little awkward because that move is really meant for your particular type of sword as well, and you've got this kind of big, unwieldy, long, straight thing. It's too heavy as well.
Mm.
Ungainly, but.
What time of day is it? Morning?
Yeah,
I see us doing this.
Yeah, this is either
like,
morning or evening if we're.
afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm drinking earlier. Drinking earlier in the day.
Shocker.
Nobody
can I-
reacts.
Can I stealth to hide his booze in different places, in like other people's bags, or just under his under his bedroll occasionally, so
Yeah,
that
like
like he lays down and is like, what the Neo?
And if such that maybe at first he thinks he's just misplacing it, but eventually, roll sneaky stealth, and then Razor, you can roll a counter perception.
Okay.
Ooh, I did great.
Oh, a 4 for Neolilfineth.
For Shiggles, I'm gonna tap the aspect
Nope.
in Nocturnal Steps to make that a 6.
Okay, so Razor is not any the wiser, and it keeps happening to you, Razor, as you're journeying. Like it's just like you're misplacing your booze, your drink. There's like one whole day you go without even really being able to find it, and then realizing it's like in your coat pocket or something.
And I'm very irritable for that entire time.
The day might be a little bit more, yeah.
So it's like a typical like Tuesday.
If I had any kind of facial expressions, it would be very difficult to hide the snicker.
Are you misplacing your booze?
Obviously, I'm not misplacing anything.
That's a really bad sign.
Yeah,
You just mind your own damn business.
Are you gonna run out like a week into this?
It would probably be best to drink more water and less booze.
Alcohol does dehydrate you, after all. And we are in a desert. And how good can warm beer really be? Or drink your problems away. That's an option too. Just, maybe pay better attention to where you're putting them. I found one under my bedroll today. It's just impressive. How does that even happen?
Yes, very curious as to how that happens.
Unknowable.
It's a mystery forever.
Yes. A mystery for the ages, I'm sure. Scholars will be writing about it for years to come.
As a note, I did take sneak as my skill, in case someone wants to blame me for anything.
No, but I might recruit you to help me at some point.
You're on the list of suspects, let's be honest.
Number 1 suspect, Vale. That's a fate point well spent.
Yeah, we continue on with our montage. There's one instance where you guys just wake up in the morning and there's a cow like standing in your camp that's just like watching you guys as you wait, and like doesn't do anything. Just wanders off after a few minutes.
Wait. Male cow, female cow.
Male. It's not a male cow.
Oh,
It's a
well,
male
no.
cattle or male. It's a bull, I guess.
It's a bull. Oh, in that case, I lay very still.
guys-
I don't move.
You guys saw that cow, right?
No,
Yes.
there's no cow.
No.
Okay.
Well, no, I
There
didn't
was
see a
definitely
cow.
Yeah.
That was not a
Nudge,
cow. No
Vale.
cows.
Well,
There's
yes,
no cow.
but thing, cow.
Have you been drinking Razor's booze? I know he's hidden one beneath your sleeping pad twice in this
Are
journey,
you sneaking it? Are you
but you
sneaking his
shouldn't be
booze away?
drinking them like that.
It could also be because of heat stroke. Drink
Oh,
more water.
also an option.
Don't
Vale.
think I have drunk any booze yet.
Oh, just
Yeah, I
heat
don't
stroke
get
then.
heat stroke because I'm a Dunmer.
Mhm.
Well, you have a booze problem, so I mean that answers the worst thing.
I don't have a problem.
Okay.
He can stop at any
said-
time.
Said like somebody who doesn't have a problem.
Exactly. So why are we talking about this? Let's proceed.
If you don't have a problem, then the next time I find one of your booze under my sleeping bedroll, can I just keep it?
No.
Just pour it out
Ah.
instead.
You wound me.
The last thing in our montage, I think that happens is one evening, as you guys have passed now the town of, or just passing the city of Tanith. You Vale, you finally crack like something. You've been almost there on learning this spell. The tome makes it much easier than without it, and you're able to finally gather the mana in the right way, or the magicka in the right way, and direct it, and you're able to fortify. You successfully cast it. And you're like,
Excellent.
learned it.
Well done.
Good job, Vale.
I figure these will be useful talents with what is to come.
Ooh.
It's a
Yeah.
very useful spell. It will serve you well.
So when you pass Tanith, you kind of have to start going a little off-road. And this is where when you haven't necessarily been right here, right in this spot, but things just start looking familiar to you. And like you just kind of have this. I don't know. I think I'll just be. You know that scene? There's an episode of The Office where they lose, like they go out of the office and they lose Michael. He like wanders off and they can't find him. Has anybody seen The Office? Anybody? Mind just talking about? God damn it.
Yep.
Nobody. All right. It's a It's a great episode. You should watch it. The reference doesn't make any sense though. It's not gonna. Fine. Whatever. Yeah, you guys don't know exactly. I don't know if we've talked about this, but you don't know exactly where you're supposed to be going. So what's the strategy then? How are we going to find the Song of Life?
Vale, how comfortable would you be talking to the local populace when we pass by merchants or traders or anybody like that?
Oh, I'd be comfortable with that.
Perfect. If you could just slip in this song that we're looking for and anything these people might know about such a legendary occurrence, artifact, place.
So slip in. Does that imply I shouldn't just ask if they know about it and that we're looking for it?
Maybe not that we're looking for it specifically, but that you know about it is probably fine.
Yeah, I
But
can.
just
do that.
ask
It's
them
not
if they know
defined
anything about it.
merchants. but to find the people who have roamed the desert like my own. They know more.
Nomads.
Yes, they would know more than just merchants who pass by and just hear things that could be wholly inaccurate.
Yeah, but
It's a place
be
to start.
discreet.
I look at Bertolus.
Shit.
Him. Discreet. Sure.
It's worth a try.
You could find my people. The wise woman talked about a song before.
Yeah, I don't want to be rude, but I don't suppose your people are bandits.
They would never resort to that.
Just asking.
That's a very odd question for you to ask.
I was connecting some dots that didn't connect, so forgive me.
Like I was
It's the
saying,
heat stroke again.
if we can find some sort of tribe or some
The
sort of
heat-
roaming band of people that aren't merchants, they probably, like the wise woman of my own tribe, have heard or know of a particular song.
Well, I can ask about those too.
Yeah. Merchants would probably be the best people to ask about nomadic patterns. Local merchants, anyway.
Well, and definitely bandits. They would know about bandits.
Also that.
You know, I think this is a perfect time for you guys to make a perception check.
Oh,
Talking about bandits?
Can I tag? I just mentioned the word bandit. No.
Hey.
Hey,
If only.
I did. Holy crap, Craig! I did superb.
It's great.
Thank you.
Outside of sunflower seeds because I didn't have.
You're welcome.
Because I don't have much.
Fair. And I'll be right back.
Sunflower seeds.
And so we got
Yes,
Bertolus
Bodhi
with a
sunflower
5.
seeds.
Win rolled up a 2. Vale 4. Neo 4.
Some good rolls there.
Let's see.
You know the old wives' tale about mentioning bandits while on the road.
Neo, Vale, Bertolus. You guys are what was kind of rocky, relatively dry landscape has been slowly turning into more. There's just more and more dust, and like the random sand dune has been appearing here and there. There's lots of rocks, big rocks that stick up out of the desert in this area in Hammerfell. And you spot as you're like just coming over one of these little hill sand dune, and there's like a rock, and you can tell just kind of by the way that the greenery that's over there. There's probably groundwater or maybe even an oasis like tucked away on the other side. And you see dust being billowed up, kind of. This rock is blocking your view, but you can see dust being like turned up by something, and it's you can't really exactly see it. But with a 5, Bertolas, you notice in the sky there is a large bird-looking thing circling up above.
Up above the thing, above us or above the.
Above the rock with the water, there's a little it's a little oasis thingy. There's some activity going on. It's pretty intense that you can't see right from where you are, and then you notice a large bird thing. You at first are like, that's a bird, and you're like, Might not be a bird.
Hey,
Well, I
When-
pointed that direction and said, "People maybe this way."
Yeah, what's up?
do you know what that bird is up there?
Bird. And she looks up and she kind of like squints her eyes. And Casey, do I need to make a roll of some sort?
Yeah.
Would
Well, no. He points it out.
Okay.
You don't need to make a roll. You've seen these out in the desert before. That's a harpy. Half vulture, half person.
Is that?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they're kind of a bitch to kill.
Well, what?
Well, I mean, what about talking to him?
Or going the other way?
No,
You can't talk to them.
these things are not very talkative.
Do they
Okay.
not speak?
Going the other way?
Yeah, no, these things don't speak languages, I should say. These things pretty much hunt and kill whatever, so and that means us.
Well, do you think there might be someone over there that needs help?
I'm more than willing to go and kill another harpy.
Oh, so you've killed one of these before.
yeah.
Should be easy then.
It's not easy. It usually takes some really good and skilled hunters to kill them.
Yeah,
We can
Looks
find-
at
hunters
Neo.
with ranged weapons.
Well,
Looks at
Well,
Neo.
Should
Yeah.
you not get close to them?
I mean, I could probably
well.
hit it.
I'm sure they'll get close to
No,
us.
you know what? Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's just go take care of it. It's a hazard. Vale wants to see me hit it. Well, I got a bow. I should use it. I paid for it.
Yeah.
We're going to
Took me a
go
second.
find out what's happening at this encounter. Good, because I don't know how else. Well, you'll see anyway.
I'm here for you.
So you guys start making your way down that direction, and you start moving around this big stone. And Bertolas, you notice again with your 5, you notice that they're up on top of the rock. There are like peeking their heads out and like looking around. You see a couple more harpies.
I
Looks
think
like,
this
looks
might have
like
been a
they're
bad
maybe-
idea.
They're nesting up there or something. And you keep coming around, and coming into view on horseback are some people. They're riding quickly, dust coming up in their treads, in their hoof treads. They're on freaking tank horses. As they
Oh,
Oh, snap.
in their tracks. I don't know words, and they have bows, and they both kind of almost in sync turn behind themselves and let loose some arrows, and then they turn away from you and back, kind of go out of view again. And I'll let you. How do you guys react to that? What's the plan?
Where
Well-
were those arrows directed?
Back towards
harpies?
where you can't see actually what they were shooting at.
Well, if we kill one, we definitely get to harvest whatever it drops. And if I've learned anything wandering the wilds of Cyrodiil, it's that random creatures that you encounter definitely almost always have something I can use.
Useful.
So I'm gonna take aim if I get close enough.
if she's
The harpy that you can see, the ones that are you can see are it's way up in the sky. And
A
they
pretty good
shot. They
archer.
definitely the 2 archers did not shoot up. They shot back something on the ground.
Oh, well, awkward.
It is
Um,
a little bit, just a wee bit.
I'm gonna try to go around the corner so I can see what they're shooting at.
You
I'm
kind
gonna take a
of
shot at the harpy.
get a bit, roll archery.
then I get a chance to try out my fortify spell since I already talked about how
Yes.
awesome the archery was going to be.
Roll.
Yeah.
And I'm deciding. I think I'm going to go with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the skill required for the level of spell.
Right.
I think
Ah.
1, 3, 5, 7, 9 was just a little too harsh. That means if you have a skill of 9, only 50% of the times would you successfully get an expert level,
Right.
and that seems a little steep.
That's a little steep.
Well,
Little steep.
I bragged, which
Okay, I
makes me
got
feel like I need
one
to do
shift.
better. I'm gonna tap Hunter of Hearsay in front of their fate point and make that a 3. So with Veil's aid, that becomes a 4.
Yeah, fortify. I'm just double checking the fortify ability. +1 with skill or stress type for the remainder of the scene. So you hit Neo and fortify her archery.
Yes.
Gives you some encouraging words as magic flows into you, and you get that bonus +1.
Helps me stabilize myself in this shifting sand.
Yeah, it's unnatural. The harpy's going to try to dodge out of the way. And it doesn't. You clip it. It kind of lets you hear this.
Lovely noise.
Along with by this point you could probably know that the sounds exist. You can probably hear shouting coming from around the corner as well. Sounds like lots of shouts, maybe some hoofbeats, though they're pretty quiet in the sand. The harpy freaks out, flies back to the rock, to the crest of the rock, and like looks threateningly down at you. Bertolus, as you kind of come around the corner with your shield raised, you're still a little ways back. There is a group of carts, so like a caravan of sorts, that has formed up in a defensive U shape with their back to the water that has pooled down at the bottom of this rock. And you can see from this angle, you can see maybe a couple of people with like crossbows who are trying to return fire, as you notice there are maybe 20 or so riders on horse that keep running up, firing off arrows, and then they keep retreating. And they just kind of looks like they're just keeping this up. And like they take their time. They are not. They've got their prey here.
Is everyone here Red Guard or?
Looks like the raider. We'll just say that most of the people that you can see, the raiders themselves, look all Red Guard, and they're wearing desert garb and style armor.
Do they seem to have noticed me? Why did I ask that?
Because it's good to know.
You're pretty easy to spot. Give me. I'm gonna let you keep that 5 that you got earlier. There's up on a hill behind, not too far back. There is this guy. On the stream, just put a picture. He stands out because he's got this huge blade over his shoulder. I stole this. This is definitely. I can't remember where I found this. I like this picture. I was typing in Red Guard villain. Not that he's a villain.
Yeah, he could be a good guy.
I mean, he's got an eye patch that makes him inherently trustworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the archers keep kind of flowing up, firing, and they keep harassing from all sides, and they'll go back to sort of where he is, and he seems to be directing, and he points in your direction.
Well, that's probably fine.
Shit. No, it isn't.
I give him a little salute with my sword, and then kind of back towards. There's some like rock outcroppings. You said.
Yeah, you could especially on this side. You can even get closer to the rock.
Yeah, I want to make sure I can't be like flanked by these
So you
horses.
kind of back up into there's a little bit of crags and rocks sticking up here, and you find a good spot. The rest of you, what are you doing? We'll just Razor.
I'm going to step up front to meet this rider.
Okay. I mean, it's riders, and the guy pointed,
Yep.
and it looks like some of his horse archers are now breaking off and making their way towards you.
Mm-hmm. I'll start heading towards them. If it looks like they're gonna shoot instead of like talk to us, then that will obviously change my action. But yeah, if it looks like they're just riding up to talk to us, I'll go talk to them.
Okay.
But if it looks like they're actually gonna shoot, then I'll fire back preemptively.
Vale.
Huh? What?
Vale's still kind of trying to figure out what's going on in the scene here a little bit, but he knows harpies are bad, so he's going to stay behind and behind Razor and the group and kind of just watch.
Neo.
Well, I'm gonna keep shooting at the harpy, because that's what we came over here to do. And I don't know that I'm 100% aware of the riders coming to us.
Yeah, maybe they haven't been. Yeah, okay.
A little focused,
that's
as
fine.
it were.
Yep.
So, let's shoot again. Oh,
Ooh.
superb.
Do you still get the bonus from the?
Oh, from
Fortify?
Fortify? It's the rest of the scene,
Ah.
so
Yes, so that's a 6.
makes that a
technically.
6.
Welcome.
It's actually quite an excellent shot, because you're shooting up high onto this rock, and it's got a little bit of cover, and it keeps like moving around. You notice that all of them kind of do this weird sort of like kind of moving. You know, the owls kind of do that head bobby thingy, but theirs is very aggressive. And you stick one right in the shoulder, and it cowers down. You see, they mostly hide. It looks like they kind of resituate themselves and kind of pull back, but you like.
Hey Neo, we might have bigger problems.
Shh.
Win.
Neo's in the zone.
Notice.
What?
Sorry. Hold on. With my 3, what was I able to notice? Do I notice like those people coming? Am I too like busy thinking about that harpy?
Well, since Neo hasn't noticed, we can go ahead and say from where you're standing, you don't see the riders necessarily. You may have seen them pop out really briefly, fire their arrows, and kind of move back further away.
Okay.
But
So there's more than just a couple people here. Got it.
you do see that Bertolus has like kind of backed up and gotten into a defensive position and put up his shield, and that Razor is kind of stepping out around the corner and I don't know, putting out his hands or looking like he's gonna try and talk to somebody.
I'm gonna get like onto like the high ground or like on like an outcropping of rock
Sure.
where Razor is standing, and I'll prepare myself to jump down and slice some bitches if I
Yeah.
need to.
Nice.
Classic.
So,
No, don't skyline yourself.
Razor, you're going to need to make some sort of. They're riding towards you, and they pull out bows. You can see arrows get knocked, and there's about 5 of them that start. They're not moving directly at you. They are definitely kind of keeping a little bit of distance, going wide.
Razor,
around
are you sure being out in the open's a great idea?
Not particularly. But it looks like they're going to shoot me, so, there's that.
Great.
It's like they're definitely doing what they're supposed to do, which is trying to stay out in range. So
Yeah, I'm not going to be real helpful against mounted archers.
You just need
Right.
to take one down and get onto a horse. Should be easy.
What are you guys talking about? We're
Uh,
here for the.
Right. So yeah, these guys are obviously taking aim to shoot me, I assume.
Yes, it looks like.
Yeah.
Nothing personal. They just want to establish the negotiating. If they kill one of you, then maybe the rest of you will be more pliable.
Right. And I respect that as much as I can also respect the fact that I'm going to use chain lightning on him.
Whale.
So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try and cast chain lightning and hope that works.
What is this Sparks just at a?
It should be sparks at a 3,
like
basically.
Three mana, 3 magicka.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 magicka.
It's the AOE. It's the journeyman level shock spell.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
That's a good roll. A high roll.
Okay, so they're gonna try and I'll roll just as a group. So you slam into they come out and looking like they're gonna shoot at you, and you're like, oh, okay, fine, and you pull in the spell, and you're like, you've got it right in your hand, the magicka, and you have this moment of like, okay, because some of your maybe in your own private times, or we've experienced that your spells don't go off all the time.
Sometimes they fizzle out.
And you've got the magic in that moment. You're like, I don't know. And you let go and the magic shoots out of your hand. Electricity arcing at this group of riders and starts jumping between them. Their horses get electrocuted. 2 of them fall off their horses, and like the horses freak out and go the other way. The energy gets kind of dissipated, and the other ones are able to kind of shake it off and keep coming at you, and they're going to return fire.
Yep.
You need to like jump onto one of the like horses that doesn't have a rider.
1, 2, 3.
Who are those aimed at?
Razor.
Crap.
The guy who's blasting magic out of his hands.
I spend a fate point. Assuming, is he
you can redirect
in my zone?
So, since we are doing ranged, does it if Razor is in your zone, or if
is he basically
Razor
close enough for me?
Yeah, we'll say Razor's in your zone.
All right, then I am doing defend the weak and leaping in front of him with my shield at the ready.
Do it.
Nice.
All right, so how do I roll a defense like this?
So I think using a shield is falls under one-handed.
Okay, then this is going to be a good roll.
Such confidence.
Oh.
It was.
Oh,
Holy shit.
dang,
How do you have a
7?
7 in that?
My shield gives me a +2 to defense, and defend the weak gives me a +1 to defend against
Good
the
lord.
attack.
Yeah, I like
That's
it.
fantastic.
It seems overpowered, but we're gonna let it slide, and I'll just just make the enemies stronger as we go. Plus, you're using your special ability. I think is this a fate point you have to spend in order?
Yeah, I spent a fate point.
So you spend a fate
yes.
point, get your bonus. You have your shield. Yeah.
Now, is that only one of the attacks, or all of the attacks? Because does it say like maybe one attack?
Yeah, but you're standing right in the way. So
Right.
all 3 attacks are now going to be directed at you. So roll 2 more, but not at the +7.
Okay.
You're just there. Roll normal defense. The first one, you block. Yeah, frickin' A. You're going to be hard to hit. Now
Shields.
I know that.
Mhm.
Of course. Yeah, you jump forward. There's these arrows start coming right in at you, Razor, and leaping out of nowhere, puts his shield up, catches all three on his shield. Arrows sticking out. One of them like is come through, is like right where your eye was as you were holding it up. You're able to catch all three arrows. One of them, yeah, and as they come by a little bit, they're a little, maybe one of them is close enough there, Win, for you to jump out at. It's going to be a bit of a, I'm going to need like an athletics check, but I hear you're pretty good at those.
I am.
I'll see if they get close enough. They think that they're still back far enough, but let's see if you surprise them.
Oh. Let's see. I did a great.
I think 4 is good
Can
enough.
I spend a fate point and tap the aspect she has the high ground now?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll say that we'll go on to you. So a 4, you leap off, and actually, yeah. So you end up repositioning yourself a little bit here. It turns out they are just barely from where you're standing. They stay out of range, but you're like, hey, there's a couple other rocks here, and you kind of leap off and run really quickly using the rocks as cover. You stay low, and you close in on their distance much faster than they're expecting. You pop up on top of this really high rock, and you can make this leap. You now have the high ground. We'll make that a 6, and you jump the remaining way. Go ahead and what do you do? You slash at them? Do you jump on the horse? Do you toss them
Feet
off?
to the chest him off the horse.
I kick them like in the chest or like with one foot, like just to kick them off, and I just like unseat them and then replace myself on that horse and take the rein and head towards.
Okay. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I'm gonna need at least like a brawl check or something to do the kick.
All right.
But you or your fight. I think it's fight on your character sheet.
Yeah. I needed to change that to brawl, but whatever. All right.
Hey, nice.
That's a pretty good roll.
He's gonna get a defense on that. I don't. Nope, not good enough. You kick him. He does not able to hold on to his horse. He falls off, lands on the ground with the thud, and you. Is there riding skill?
No, there is not.
I think there is. It's gonna be athletics, I think. Athletics or security? I don't know. Acrobatics? It could be acrobatics. What do you guys think?
I could do athletics.
I think it could be athletics or acrobatics. Those are changing.
Gotta take the reins.
Athletics. That way you can be good at it as well. Relatively good at it.
Well, actually, you know what? I am going to be a. There's a story about this, about like a particular warrior person who was able to unseat somebody and kick them in the face. So.
What's the name? What is the story?
The story is about Jigaron the Brave. And
I'm writing this down.
And he started off really poorly and was a sickly kid, and then to prove himself, he went face to face with a different nomadic tribe and single-handedly unseated the
So a bit of like a David and Goliath sort of story.
Yes, that's basically what it is. Yep.
Moral of the story is
Kick them in the face.
It's a good moral of the story.
Yeah, somehow I doubt that, but if that's what you took out of it and that's what you're applying here.
Can I do?
She took the wrong message.
I did take the wrong message. Can I do my endurance? This is effectively an extra aspect. Once per session, you may take it without spending a fate point. So at least that can give me a 3.
A 3 for what?
A 3 to pull the reins.
Oh, to do your horse riding.
Yep.
Yeah, you were able to get control of the horse and kind of pull it in, and it at first tries to like buck. It notices the rider's change, and it's like, oh shit, somebody stranger, huh? But then you're like, shh, calm it down. You hold on to the reins.
Stranger danger.
It's a there's a specific name for these red guard, these Hammerfell desert horses. So you've done that. So, all right. So we're gonna jump. We're gonna let Vale go. Okay. Good yawn.
Sure. So you mentioned something about some people behind some like barricades by the water.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What? I mean, so like I get the impression if I like come over, I mean, wind got to the rocks, right? So you could almost like jump into that pool of water,
You could. Yeah.
and then you would be behind the barracks
Yeah.
or the barricade.
Yep.
Does anybody look injured behind the barricade?
Yeah. Now that you're looking, you're like, hey, yes,
Okay,
there are a number of injured people back there.
I have acrobatics, so let's do this. To be clear, I'm not good at acrobatics. I just have it.
But you have it.
Yeah. Use what you got.
Random cuss words and shouts come from Bertolus telling him to stop.
Nah, he'll be fine.
I'm going where it's safe.
Shit, I forgot to.
But he wasn't fine. I'll tell you where Vale's not safe.
I think I will tag. I'm here to help, or I was born to help, and here I am.
Do your thing.
Which will give me a 3.
So you maybe not as quite as epic as you were hoping, but you kind of run in there, jump off of one rock, kind of crawl along the small little ledge that gets you to a decent position where you kind of jump in the water, and all that goes pretty well. The water's not that deep, and so you kind of splash in and hit the bottom. You don't hurt yourself, but like you're like disoriented, and you kind of stand back up. And like sort of like crawl, stand your way back up awkwardly, and sort of walk. But I'll let you move an extra zone there, and you get yourself not only into the water but into the next, and you're standing within these guys' defensive. The people who have like the couple of people who have crossbows and who are shooting outwards, they don't seem to really notice you. It's like the couple of people that are like tending to the wounded. One of them like with a sword. It's a one-handed sword that they've got choked up with like two hands. They don't really look like they know what they're doing, and kind of steps forward at you and like looks at you, looks at the raiders, looks back at you.
I'm here to help. And then I like point at one of the wounded people, and I like start walking that direction.
Cool, yeah. It's an old Red Guard woman that you walk up to. Neo.
Do we not care about the harpies? What? Oh, shit. I'll be with you in a second.
I'm watching you.
And I'll dash around to where, actually, there's a rock. I'm gonna climb up on the rock, find good semi-cover, and then take aim at whatever remaining horse archers there are.
Yeah. So there were 5, but now there's 2 horse archers that Wynn and Razor and Bertolus have kind of engaged. There's still at least like 15 more that keep harassing the defenders, the caravan.
How far away is Mr. Eyepatch Man, as I'm assuming he's fairly easy to spot?
Let's call him 5 zones. I don't know. Pretty far.
I don't know what that means within the context of my range.
It would be a difficult... maybe that's something I should add to the bows as a range.
Maybe.
What would be reasonable? I don't know. I think it would be an incredible shot to hit him at this distance.
I've got another fate point. I'm theoretically good at this.
Oh boy.
Go you.
through our travels, have I had time to make my damage health potion or poison?
Yeah, I think you've had multiple days, so
I will dip
that would have
this
been
arrow.
a good montage thing to include. I think. Sorry, I failed you.
We failed each
For the
other
last
because I
time.
totally forgot about it until right now. I had intended to make sure that I stated that, but
Well, first, actually, give me an. Oh, do I need you to make an alchemy roll for? No. What kind of poison? What? I just want to know because there's like 3 in the game. There's like your weak poison, your middle strength poison, and your strong.
it would
Poison.
probably be weak because I'm only using 2 ingredients.
Yeah, so it's going to be 1, 3, 5 extra damage on the
Fair enough.
for the tiers, or maybe 2,
1
4,
extra
6.
is good enough.
1 through 5. I like 1 through 5.
I like 5.
When you figure it out, you let me know. I'll be over
1 through 5.
here
1 through 5. I
dipping
figured it out.
arrows. Okay.
I'm letting you know.
I'm gonna dip this arrow specifically in my weak poison. We're gonna go for it. We'll see how far fate can carry us.
It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
But I
I
like
can-
the attempt. The cool thing is the attempt might have its own effect, even if you fail.
Fair enough. I'm very, very likely going to spend a fate point on this for Hunter of Hearseen. So if I make this shot, I know Hearseen out there somewhere will be proud of me regardless.
Hersine did say, "You got this."
Hey! My
He
DJ
did.
Prince is with me. One of them, anyway.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, 1.
Ba, ba, ba.
Shh.
Oh,
Oh.
disappointing roll. Well, spend my fate point to make it a 3.
Yep. So you
That's
pull
all I
back,
got.
let that arrow loose. It sticks into the ground. Well out of range.
Yeah. I
But-
could super gamble and use that fate point to re-roll instead of adding the +2, but that seems
Super gamble.
dangerous.
Super gamble.
It did not
Do
work
it.
out for me, so I
You
would
rolled a -2. Statistically, I think you are in decent odds of rolling much higher. So
What do you think,
I
Chet?
did the math.
Hearseen!
The expected result is the same as your
oh,
+2.
all right, because
Sure.
you'll roll a 0 and get So
Yep.
you're not actually gonna. Yep.
But you can't succeed if you don't re-roll.
Yeah. It did feel kind of like a throwaway fate point at that.
You know what? Go ahead and re-roll. Let me see. If you roll fucking awesome, then it's worth it.
I was waiting for Hearseen to tell me to re-roll, and he did. So we'll give it a shot. The worst it can do is be negative. It was better, technically. But the same.
Itty bit.
Not used to
Actually,
shooting in the
that's
desert.
technically a worse roll
Eh.
because you don't get the +2 from your fate point.
Yeah.
So you did
Oh, well.
worse. Congrats. Even shorter. It lands in there. But you spent the fate point.
The wind just takes it where I was not expecting it to go.
The guy here. Oh shit. Oh god. This fella. Oh whoa. What am I moving? What image do I have selected? That's. There we go. This guy. Hey, moving him around. There we go. He holds up his big. It's got a long haft on it, and it's basically half of it is it's like a claymore with an extra long handle, good for hitting things from horseback. He holds it up, and coming from his chest, from the center of his chest, is this magic that arcs down his arm, goes into the weapon, and magical energies. It's like there's almost a ghostly outline of another weapon over top of his own.
Oh boy.
And
Oh, fuck.
he shouts, and he shouts a note that is he basically sings. He lets out an operatic oh sort of deal, except it's way more epic than what I did. And his raiders around him all pull out their swords, and the same thing from their chest out to their swords, their curved blades. They get this kind of magical, and they start swinging it around. Just when, luckily, the two, as they're doing this, they like stopped to pull out their weapons. The two guys with crossbows get up, fire, and manage to pincushion one guy, and he falls off his horse. And then instead of engaging, the guy kind of swings his sword around, and all of his men, and he looks back at you as he's leaving, leaving behind his own raiders, the few that were wounded and fell. And they start riding off. He makes eye contact with you, Neo.
Oh, good.
Maybe you should be making contact.
Oh, you made a friend. You made a friend.
He goes off. We got to wrap up the combat. The plan was he was gonna, as his guys started getting knocked off, he wasn't that committed, but I forgot to include the bit about his magic sword, so I had to throw that back in there somehow.
Well, I'm gonna scramble off the rock and then go get my arrow.
You can have these if you can get them out.
I mean, I'll take him.
The
Hold
one's
on.
embedded in his shield.
No, not like that. You're gonna break the shaft. Oh, you broke the shaft. Why would you do that? You have to gently
you just
handle
broke-
the shaft when you're trying to get the tip. All right?
Right.
God, amateurs.
God damn it.
I'm sorry.
I
have not had to work a shaft before.
It's okay. It's pretty obvious.
Huh.
Apparently,
I figured
Neolophamus
you'd
is
work-
very well skilled at working with shaft.
I think we all assumed Bertolus had trained his one-handed at least a couple of times.
It's just a different angle than I've ever worked a shaft before.
Oh, shit. Alright, well, I'm gonna drink some more.
But I get my arrow and I come back and just generally addressing the group of people that is not yet inside this tiny oasis village. Honestly, I didn't expect that to frighten him off. I didn't even get close. Like, do you think he knew it was poisoned?
I mean, it's pretty obvious you dipped it in something.
It is discolored, huh? Fair enough.
Well, and you took a moment to pull.
You think he was really paying attention, though? I assumed he had his eyes on Razor over here for blasting lightning.
I mean, that's true. That was very impressive, Razor.
Wow. I'm glad sometimes my magic works.
Why doesn't your magic work all the time?
It's a long story.
Mm.
One that I don't think anyone here cares to hear.
I would like to hear.
Perks my ear.
Okay, I mean, but maybe now's not the time.
Yeah, so
Maybe
if that
maybe
perks,
once we find a safe place.
if that does in fact perk Vale's ear, then it means you guys are close enough to Vale to for him to have heard that. Vale, you are tending to this woman. You've maybe you can
Yes.
spend your magicka and cast your spell.
I will do so.
Roll just to see. I mean, there's a chance your spell fails just from normal failure. But you don't. You successfully put it, heal up some of her wounds. You can tell, like, she's not only wounded in her body. She's sad. She is fearful and whatnot.
I start
something
speaking
about it.
in like the tribal dialect because I'm assuming these are all Redguard,
Mhm.
right?
So you come walking up.
Riding up.
Yeah, riding.
I do
with
have a
your
horse. now.
Yeah. Well,
And then I dismount.
camels. These people have camels.
Oh, okay. I dismount from the camel.
You have a horse.
Oh.
These merchants or whoever these people are in the
Got it.
barricade
I mean, they're very useful to have camels.
Camels, yeah,
In
camels.
fact, my old tribe used to have quite a few of them.
That's what you're used to riding, maybe. That's why you were unsure about this whole horse business. You're like, oh shit.
They tend to bite more than camels. Camels spit.
So what do you say?
So I help translate for Vale, saying that we're here to help, and just kind of put everybody at ease.
Yeah. What the woman that you're tending to there, Vale, hears the voice, hears Wynn talking, and looks up at her, and her sadness disappears. Her eyes light up, and she goes, Wynn?
What?
And we'll
again?
end our session right there.
What? What?
We will pick it up
Perfect.
next week. I think same time. Everybody can do next Sunday, same time.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, somebody has recognized Wynn out here in the desert. What are the chances?
Hi.
Now my leap of faith into the pool of not so deep seems more useful.
Good job, buddy.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in the chat. I know some of the... I got Daedric Prince stuff to get to, and now I'm dreading my own. I was like, what have I done to myself? But I'll try. I'll try. I might fall behind. But there are things that the Daedric Prince has requested of me to put into the game.
You got this, buddy.
Maybe a few of them have popped up in vague reference, and we'll see if more of them start appearing.
Somebody
so
did
thank
get some
you.
whispers.
Very interesting, yeah.
And thank you to you guys. I feel very lucky to have you guys as players. Thanks.
You're welcome.
And signing off.
Bye.
Bye.